Hey everyone, welcome back to our series on how lean leaders can build a culture of continuous improvement. I'm Reima Ollila, and today we are exploring two more types of waste, defects and overprocessing. Now, if you caught my last video, you'll remember we talked about transportation and inventory. Today we'll see how these connect to defects and overprocessing. The connection is quite clear. Inventory often leads to defects. The longer items sit in storage, the more likely they are to get damaged or become obsolete. Transportation also increases the risk of defects. Every time we move items, we risk damaging them. This movement could be on a large scale, like sea freight across an ocean. The items might be exposed to moisture or rough handling. Or it could be something as simple as a forklift ride to reorganize the warehouse. Even these small movements can lead to dropped pallets or bumped products. Overprocessing comes into play here. With large inventories, it's harder to spot defects. This often leads us to add extra quality checks and handling. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine we discover that a small batch of products was wrongly assembled, but we are not sure which pallet they are on among dozens in our warehouse. So what do? We organize a defect hunt. We have to take down each pallet, open it, and inspect every product until we find the defective ones. That's a lot of extra work and time spent. Classic overprocessing. We might also spend time figuring out how to get rid of obsolete inventory, maybe through discount sales. All this extra effort is a form of overprocessing, creating a cycle that feeds itself. So, as lean leaders, it's our job to break this cycle. Let's break down these wastes and see how we can tackle them. So first come defects. These costly issues are, of course, eating into our productivity, causing rework, repairs, and unhappy customers. But the good news is we can fight back. The key is to engage our team members. They are the best problem solvers when it comes to finding ways to make the products right the first time. We are not gonna improve quality by adding checks here and there. As leaders, we need to understand that quality isn't a separate process. It must be built into our manufacturing process. Your leadership is crucial here. Allocate time daily for your team members to use their creativity and problem-solving abilities so they can work to improve the process, since they are the ones who know it the best. You can set some guidelines, though, such as eliminate overproduction. Teach your team it's the sneaky culprit behind inventory buildup, which, as we know now, is a hotbed for defects. Now, let's move on and discuss more about overprocessing. This waste is all about doing more than necessary. It's the extra steps, the unnecessary features, the excessive quality checks. One example could be unnecessary data entry. Ask yourself, are you collecting data that no one ever uses? As leaders, we need to take a step back and ask, does this add value for our customer? If the answer is no, it's time to simplify. Eliminating these wastes isn't just about tools and techniques, it's about culture. As lean leaders, we need to foster an environment where continuous improvement is the norm. That means giving our team the time and resources to make improvements happen. It also means creating a safe space where trying new things isn't feared but celebrated. I would actually claim that failing is just another word for learning. And in the lean world, learning is our bread and butter. So encourage your team to experiment, to question the status quo, to look for ways to eliminate wastes, such as defects and overprocessing, in their daily work. Building this kind of culture takes time and persistence, but the payoff is worth it, I can tell you. When your team is engaged, when they're constantly looking for ways to improve, that's when the magic happens. An absolutely crucial thing to do to engage your team is to set a good example. As I keep saying, improvement starts with I. Leaders need to walk the talk and started eliminating these wastes in their own activities. Let me share an example from my own experience. As a leader, I learned an important lesson about overprocessing during a Kaizen event. We were remaking our assembly lines to improve workflow and product flow. I spent a lot of time meticulously planning how everything should be rearranged, creating extremely detailed instructions for my team. I thought I was being thorough, but in reality I was overprocessing. As the team started implementing the changes, they quickly learned more about the process. They discovered some of my ideas wouldn't work as well as I thought, and they came up with even better solutions than what I had planned. My detailed instructions became obsolete almost instantly. All that time I spent planning suddenly seemed like wasted effort, which is classic overprocessing. Later on, by stepping back and trusting my team's expertise and on-the-ground observations, I not only reduced this waste, but also empowered my team to be more creative. This experience taught me a valuable lesson. Oftentimes, less is more. By providing general guidelines and trusting our team's ability to adapt and improve as they go, we can avoid the waste of overprocessing and achieve better results. As we wrap up, remember, lean leadership is a journey, not a destination. I have had success with lean principles, but I'm still learning every day. That's the beauty of it. There's always room for improvement, always new ways to eliminate waste and add value. So keep your eyes peeled for defects and overprocessing in your operations. Build that infrastructure for your team to not just identify improvements, but to make them happen. And most importantly, keep learning. Don't forget to tune in to my next video, where I'll be discussing another lean waste, excessive motion. You won't want to miss it. So until then, keep it lean, keep improving, and remember, in the world of lean, we're all students and teachers. So see you next time.